why everything in your life keeps falling apart, and how to fix it. I didn't realize I had hit rock bottom until it felt like everything in my life was breaking at once. Work was a disaster. I kept clashing with my boss, missed deadlines, and every day felt like walking into a storm. At home, things weren't any better. My relationship was hanging by a thread. Constant arguments, silent dinners, and this growing space between us that I couldn't fill. It felt like the world was against me, and I started blaming everyone around me. My coworkers didn't get it. My friends weren't supportive. My partner didn't understand me, and that made it easy, too easy, to tell myself I was the victim. It gave me an excuse not to change. The lesson kept repeating. I got passed over for a promotion. Again, more arguments, more tension, more nights lying awake, wondering why everything felt so hard. It was like being stuck in a loop, reliving the same pain with different faces. Then one night, after another fight with my partner, I sat alone in the dark. No TV, no distractions, just me and a silence that felt heavier than anything I'd ever carried. And out of that silence came a whisper of a thought. What if it's not them? What if it's me? I resisted it, hearty. I wanted to shove that thought away, because facing it meant admitting I had a part in this. That maybe I wasn't just the victim, I was also the architect of my own suffering. But the thought didn't leave. It lingered, it haunted me. The truth I had been avoiding slowly came into focus. I had been denying my role in my unhappiness. Not because I was evil or selfish, but because it was easier to blame than to face. And every time I denied my part, karma brought the lesson back. Louder, messier, more painful. That night was the turning point. But here's what I couldn't see then. Life wasn't punishing me. It was trying to teach me. I realized I couldn't change anything in my life until I was willing to face everything. I couldn't change what I wouldn't face. That single sentence became my mirror. I started to look at my actions, not just the big ones, but the subtle stuff, the defensiveness, the excuses, the stories I told myself to feel safe instead of accountable. And let me be honest, it wasn't easy. Owning your part isn't some gentle self-help moment. It stings, it's humbling. It forces you to see how often you're the one in your own way. But it's also liberating, because the moment you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. When I began to say, "This is mine. I own this," things started to shift. At work, I stopped blaming my boss and started asking for feedback. I listened, really listened, and made changes. In my relationship, I apologized, not to win, but to connect. I acknowledged where I shut down, where I made assumptions, where I avoided hard conversations, and slowly, the pattern broke. Not because the world changed, but because I did. This is the law of humility in action. You can't change what you won't face. As long as you live in denial, the same lesson will repeat itself over and over until you're ready to see it, until you stop blaming and start owning. Spiritual growth isn't about being perfect. It's about being radically honest. Humility isn't weakness. It's courage. The courage to turn the mirror inward and say, okay, this is where I begin. If you're stuck, ask yourself, where am I blaming others? What truth have I been avoiding? Write it down. Say it out loud. Ask someone you trust to point out your blind spots. You might be surprised by what you find. You might even feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. Discomfort is the doorway to transformation. This isn't about shame. It's about growth, about reclaiming your story. Because the truth is, nothing changes until you do. And once you face it, really face it, you'll start to see a new life emerge. One that's not built on denial, but on truth. One that doesn't keep falling apart, but starts falling into place. Share your story in the comments and subscribe for more inspiring content.